Outstanding renditions of the Star-Spangled Banner at O Canada. Now let's get ready for some hockey. It's the Avs and Sens. Beautiful look at Parliament. We'll begin at the Canadian Tire Center. Avs and Sens getting ready to get it on and Pete again late. Scratch there for Cale Makar with an upper body injury, which means Jacob McDonald, called up from the Eagles, will be in tonight.
And again, for the Colorado Avalanche, just what you don't need is another injury to a key player. It is for Coach Bender, it's got to be an incredible trying to figure out what your lineup is going to be on a nightly basis.
For Nathan McKinnon, he's really looking to get on court. There's McDonald. You saw him right there in front of Bednar on the Avalanche bench. As the puck went into the Avs bench 4 seconds into the contest, and here we go again. Norris wins the draw for the Sens, gives it off, and it's jammed in by sidestep all the way around it goes. Into the corner, quick shot. There's the first save of the game for Jonas Johansson, who looked very comfortable in the back-to-back situation the other night.
I got a question I don't know if I can get an answer to. In back-to-back games, what's the best recovery a goalie's ever made? Because he went from 8 to 1. That's a 7-goal recovery in a game.
Maybe we'll get Lee Blair on it, because after Hank gave up 8, 13 years ago, he played the next night, but did he give up 1 or less? That's something I don't know, but we've got people. Pete will find out. Up to the blue line, long wrist shot, deflected wide of the net. Good shot, slides it down, turns and shoots at another save by Jonas Johansson. Well, the Avs have to forget about the guys who are out and worry about the guys who are in. Go get the job done.
Yeah, but you know, for the Avalanche, as we mentioned, this is that game 3, a 5-game road trip, and it was very easy to look and see what you were facing. Toronto Maple Leafs, red hot. You've got New York Rangers, game 5 of the trip. They're red hot. Now you've got Ottawa in the middle. They're not playing well. They've had 5 out of 21 games for it. It's been a miserable year to this point. You had Montreal, who had all kinds of trouble. General managers fired the whole 9 yards. So this is a key game.
Yeah, it certainly is. Sorry about that, Pete. No, Shabbat sent it wide there. And they're coming off, though, that 3-2 win on the road at Carolina, which is probably their most impressive win this season.
Yeah, it's the most impressive win this season, but are they capable of building on it? That's the situation. Because now you've got an Avalanche club that can score so many goals. And their goaltender has made 49 saves in that game. You know, he was just absolutely spectacular.
Yeah, faced 51 shots. Carried in by Connor Brown. Drops it deep. McDermott is there playing his 2nd straight game. And now Jack Johnson will whistle that puck up the boards. Kept in by the Sens momentarily, but then the Avs got it out. That's clear to be delayed offside. Obe Kubel is dumped behind the net. Up to the near side. The Sens try to push it up the boards. That was a pretty good play by Watson. But the Avs get it. Helm with the backhander, and he scores! Darren Helm makes the play down low for his 3rd goal of the season. He danced out in front. He delivers past the glove hand of Forsberg, and the Avs have an early 1-0 lead.
Well, a little turnover right in the middle of the Ottawa zone. Kubel, Newhook right there on the puck, but he just sort of chips it to Helm, picks up his 3rd of the season. But it's going to be interesting to see what the lines are for the Colorado Avalanche. I thought with Kadri out of the lineup, Moj, that we would see Newhook on the 2nd line, but he is on this line, and they come up with a big goal for the Avalanche.
I don't know if Newhook did that intentionally. I believe that he did. The backhand down low to Helm, who was all by himself. For Alex Newhook, that's going to be his 3rd assist of the season, but none prettier than that one right there, as he had traffic all over him and got the backhander off. Up the boards it comes for Obe Kubel. That one fired through Jost. This will be an icing call on the Avalanche. Darren Helm, the veteran, getting the job done. Again, his 3rd goal of the year, and he's been a valuable player for this Avs team with the veteran experience. And there is Jacob McDonald, a guy, Pete, who's a Swiss Army knife. He can be up front. He can be back on his normal position on the defensive side.
But he's much better, much more effective as a defenseman. He is a solid. Last year, his numbers were outstanding in the games he played for the Colorado Avalanche, and really showed that, you know, as far as a guy to come up, go back and forth, he was as good as it gets.
Darren Helm with the tally, and now Megna will take the draw to the right of Johansson. It looks like Tierney is going to be kicked out of the draw as Megna held his ground. Crowded, the Canadian Tire Center doesn't like it. Ennis will work his way into the dot. Battled for. By the centers. Foreman. Should say Foreman ton. Come to down deep, but the Avs are able to peel that one away. Set ahead. Avs will wrestle for it. Jost could not quite keep that puck in, and back to the Ottawa zone it goes for Thompson. Set in, Eric Johnson is there, got free, quick shot by Tierney, and that missed the net as Johansson had to make himself very wide. Aube-Kubel's been out there forever. Gets through center ice and will dump that puck in and will give chase on Zaitsev. The half boards, he got through Kachuk, given far side one-timer. It's underneath of Forsberg, it's free. Girard shoots, and another save by Anton Forsberg. McKinnon trying to dance up top, and that's a good poke check by Batherson, who we did not see the last meeting between these two teams. He was still out with COVID protocol. McKinnon is in, wrist shot off the post. He just rang it off the iron. Oh, McKinnon. He's feeling it tonight already, but that one clings to the left of the Ottawa netminder, Forsberg. Clinging to that post and then clanging out. It's just unbelievable as McKinnon has one goal on the season. Zub sends it ahead. That'll force Johnson to turn and chase. Just over 3 minutes in. Nice one-hander up the board. Sen's got a stick on it, but McDonald will pound that puck up and out. Stützle knocked down by Rantanen, and Mikko dangling down the slot. Shoots! Saved by Forsberg. Nichushkin lost the handle. So did O'Connor as Brown brings it up ice and sticks it down the right wing. Stützle shoots. Saved by Johansson. He'll hold on to that rebound here early in period one.
Well, it looks like Mikko Rantanen, his time at center when McKinnon was out was good enough for the coach to put him at center on the second line. I thought it would be Newhook moving up, and instead it's Mikko Rantanen in the middle, Nichushkin on the left, Burakovsky on the right for the Colorado Avalanche.
Interesting line combinations as Newhook will step in now. Sens pick it up, turnaround shot, deflected away, goes to the far post, and Aube-Kubel is there. He'll lift it ahead, looking for Helm off his stick. At the red line, it's battled for, but back to the Ottawa zone. Set ahead now, and Watson pounds it toward the red line. It's popped up into the air. Frees up to Helm. He'll try to drag it out, and he just scooted away. Darren Helm now has control as he takes a hit, and that puck is up and out. Dylan Gambrell, the former DU Pioneer, laid the lick. Aube-Kubel trying to stick handle through traffic, but 4 black jerseys on him, and out it comes again.
You know who Aube-Kubel reminds me of? Matt Nieto when the Avalanche picked him up from San Jose.
That's a great comparison.
You didn't quite know what you were getting, but all of a sudden, every night, he's on the puck, he's hard to play against, and he gives the Avalanche some energy.
Yeah, he's really worked hard in this opportunity with the Avs, who claimed him off waivers. That one stuck into the corner, picked up by Tyson Joe. He'll dance into the circle. Gives it off as McDermott works it down the board. Sends it in front, and it went off a skate. Devon Taves rifles it again to McDermott. A bouncing puck is finally funneled down deep as it rolls far side. Hit Watson in the skate. Avs pounded at it, but now they'll make a change. Zub, part of the top pair for the Sens. Deflected in, and Ottawa will also get fresh skaters out there on the ice. So Aube-Kubel officially gets the first assist on the Darren Helm goal. Newhook got the other assist, each their third of the season. Burakovsky tipped it to center ice. Landeskog now out there with Burakovsky and O'Connor, but it's given far side, and a shot deflected over the top of the net. Here's McKinnon. Burakovsky now skating with McKinnon and Landeskog, and we'll see if the different combinations continue tonight for this Avalanche squad.
That's probably much more of what we're going to see.
Girard wanted to find McKinnon. Burakovsky is cut down and did a pirouette into the slot. It's a 3-on-2 back the other way. Kachuk shoots and scores. Brady Kachuk, all kinds of time to walk in and rip home his 6th of the season. We've got a 1-1 hockey game in Ottawa.
Well, Moshe, the players must have liked that last game they played. 7-5 Colorado Avalanche in in that game here in Colorado, because this is exactly what we saw. Just the breakdowns, the quick breaks. There have been so many chances already in this hockey game for both clubs. And Tkachuk just fires a rocket right there, and we're tied at 1.
There's the trip on Burakovsky. It was incidental. Batherson was there. And then once Brady Tkachuk works his way in like that and picks his spot, he's very difficult to stop. For Tkachuk, it's his 19th game of the season, but he's now starting to heat up a little bit.
Yeah, there's all kinds of contract stuff at camp, and but they're past that now. But this is really going to be an interesting year for this Ottawa club. They have, in their draft this year, they have 10 picks, 6 in the top 3 rounds. And, Moshe, this is a young club that thinks they've got a lot of talent. So they're just going to be building on that talent.
Yeah, it's a complete rebuild for the Sens, but they do have some talent, and they have to kick it through Rantanen, as you talked about those picks, so they can really build a core and a foundation. Brought back in by Ottawa, sent down deep, score! The Avs lost Austin Watson down deep for his first of the year. A perfect pass is redirected by Johansson, and all of a sudden, the Senators have raced out to a 2-1 lead as the Avs defensive breakdowns continue.
Well, Moshe, just guys are just wide open coming into that. Watson circled at the blue line, and nobody picked him up as he comes into the zone. No, we don't have Bo Byram. They don't have Kadri. They don't have Makar. So it's going to take a little while to get everything straightened out. But this is just a crazy start to this game.
First assist of the season for Gambrell. First goal of the season for Watson. Perfect pass by Dylan Gambrell. Jack Johnson rams that one ahead. He got through Jost and rolls all the way down. So the Avs are whistled for icing yet again. The Avalanche took a 1-0 lead, 1:26 into the game. But now the Sens have struck back with not 1 but 2 goals.
And, we were talking about the, little tongue-in-cheek, the last game setting up this game. But sometimes, Moshe, you can't slow a game down. Even if you're a coach, during a period, you have to get into intermission where you slow things down. So goodness only knows what we're going to see the rest of this period between these two clubs.
Yeah, that game on the 22nd at Ball Arena was...
Oh, this motion was crazy because the Avalanche dominated that game, but it took an empty net goal to salt it away.
Here comes McKinnon. Wrist shot blocked away. He'll gather that puck back in. Spins it off to the left point, and Jack Johnson tees it up wide of the cage. Pursued now by McDonald. Could not get a hold of that puck, and the Sens were able to clear as the Avs send McKinnon off. Bounced off the boards and drug in by Jost. He's got Newhook with him, but the Sens able to poke it right back out. That'll make Kubel back to Taves. He'll play pitch and catch with Sammy G. Rammed up ice and bumped in by Helm. He'll give chase on Hetherington. Ennis couldn't handle it. That shot ricocheted right off of Tierney, and out it comes to center ice. Make Kubel is right back in. Trying to escape from Thompson. Now it's Newhook. Newhook did score in the last meeting between these two squads. Long wrist shot blocked away by Forsberg. Well, Anton Forsberg got undressed by Helm at 126. Good back check there by Sammy P. And then his team all of a sudden boosted his spirits as that puck is smothered by Johansson with 2 goals. Farmington and Gerard have words. We'll get to a timeout. Avs trailing in Ottawa early, 2-1.
It was a good bet.
Well, it was. I mean, the yes hits an awful lot with this Avalanche squad, one way or another, and it certainly did past couple of contests up to the blue line. Poked ahead by McKinnon, but Norris got all over it. Lincoln Chuck scoops it to his own end. Sent back up ice. There will be no icing here. Johansson is out to play it. He bangs it up at the boards. Landeskog and Chuck were wrestling. Glove down by the captain. So backhand flip to McKinnon. Center of the ice now. Burakovsky trying to pursue on Shabbat. Behind the net, Landeskog finds Taves. Very patient, middle of the ice. McKinnon got tripped. Should be a penalty coming up, and it will be. Josh Norris, the outstanding young center for Ottawa, will go to the box. Avs with the first power play opportunity of this game.
There's always that idea, Moj, that, you know, when you're on the road, you want your power play to work. It just seems to set up so many things. You can sometimes get by with your power play sputtering at home, especially with the Avalanche play. They have they just score so many goals. But on the road, now here's a big opportunity. You're down by one. You know, things are looking just a little strange again against this Ottawa club. You want to come up with a big effort on this power play.
Avs trying to win the draw. Bounced up top, but they do. And now Taves walks it in, finds McKinnon. Back to Taves, one-timer. He scores! Devon Taves wastes no time, bombing it from way downtown. It's a power play goal. The Avs have tied the game at 2. Taves continues to impress. He's a point-a-game guy with his 4th goal of the season and his 12th point in his 12th game.
Now, wait a minute. Is Landy going through the line first?
Did the captain get a piece, Pete? I don't know. He might have. If this does go to Gabe Landeskog, it will be his 8th goal of the season. Thought he tipped one last game on the McCarr shot. So we'll wait and see what the official scores say.
But either way, just a good setup for the Colorado Avalanche. They get it back to even. And the Avalanche, I mean, your number 1 guy in the power play is going to be Cale Makar. Your number 2 guy we saw when Makar was out was Bo Byron. So Taves is 3, Girard is 4, if you want to go that way.
Another turnover. Johnson poking at it. Racing forward is O'Connor, and here comes Logan. Right up the gut. Sends it off for Val. Far side shot! Saved by Forsberg. And he holds on, and now we've got some pushing and shoving as Logan O'Connor draws some ire, and then the Moose steps in, and he's bigger than everybody down there.
You have to wonder what the coaches are thinking right now about this hockey game, because they saw a 7-5 game between these two clubs, and what are we looking at as far as how are we going to slow this down? What are we going to do to get control of this hockey game? Or is this just one of those games where you just stand back, you coach the best you can, and your final score is what it's going to be?
It's hard, I think, for an NHL coach to say, all right, guys, I guess it's just going to be fire wagon tonight.
Oh, that does not happen.
No. Loose puck, BJ gives it off for Girard as he walks in with a slapper. Another save by Forsberg. Got it right in the logo. Yes, Jared Bednar. Do you prefer that 8-6 type of feeling, or do you prefer that 2-1 type of feeling? And we know what the answer is every time.
Yeah, they'd like to be a little more in control. They'd like to see things in front of them that they can sort of, okay, we want this line against this line. Some nights it's just not going to happen.
Well, you go back to Don Cherry. Were there nights he just said, all right, there's nothing I can do. You guys aren't listening. It's just going to be a crazy game.
But it was more the fisticuffs, where Don would think, okay, I want to control this game. He came to me one time, and there was a player beside me that was a very, very tough, very, very good fighter. And he said, you know, talk to him, tell him. I said, Don, it's not my job. You're the coach. And by the way, you're 5 minutes too late.
Backhanded fight. Why is that? Yeah, you remember what just happened a little bit ago?
No. Then next shift out. Bingo. We had a bench clearing ball.
Amazing. Girard dances his way down the boards. Now spins away. Nice play there away from Ennis. Tried to give it off for McKinnon, who just got absolutely stuffed into the boards on the near side. It's almost like he was trying to do a limbo around the stick of Tyler Ennis. Hit there on Newhook, who just came off the bench. Shabbat gave it up. Gambrell to the Avalanche zone with it. Jack Johnson tying up Sanford. Avs get to it. Pelham finds the glass. Kept in at the point. There's Obi Kubel. Sweep it off. Intercepted by Watts, and he'll send it back in, but the Senators will get a change coming up here. Approaching the halfway mark of period number 1, we've already had 4 goals scored. That pass missed the target, and there is an icing call on the Avalanche again. All right, let's take a look at tonight's Discover matchup between the Avalanche and the Sens, and you got to love this.
2 of the most underrated defenseman in the National Hockey League. There is just no question about it. Now, Chabot was a very high draft pick, 18th overall, and for Devon Toews, he went through one draft, wasn't picked, went through another draft of 211 players, 1 year, 211 players next year, the 108. So it took him a while to be discovered. But, you know, for Toews, he has been absolutely spectacular for the Avalanche.
Yeah, he has a goal tonight, his 4th of the season. The Avs and Sens are tied at 2. Of course, they went to the Game 7 of the East Final the year before the Duchesne trade. The Avs haven't been in Ottawa since February 6th, 2020, for almost 2 calendar years. As the puck slipped to the near side, Landeskog gave it right on the stick of McKinnon, and he'll motor ahead with Norris on him. Josh Norris again. Good young centerman for the Ottawa Senators, a building piece. He's their top guy now.
And let's not forget, that's Ottawa's decision to put McKinnon out there, to put Norris, the young kid, against him. You know, you're testing him. There's no question about it.
They go try to handle 29, yes, which is no easy task. Batherson feeds it off. Chabot weaving his way now down the wing. Got through Landeskog. Chabot with a wrist shot hit the side of the net. It goes into the screen. And again, that faceoff will stay in the Avalanche zone. So McKinnon picks up his 13th assist, Peter, of the season on the goal by Devon Toews. He's now got 14 points in 11 games, but only that one goal. And you know he wants to do something about that.
Oh, you think the frustration isn't building? You know, again, we talk about the idea, you know, we don't get to see them as much as we used to. But, you know how hard he practices. You know how many shots he took, Moshe, when he was out of the lineup for the Avalanche?
I want to say a gazillion. Is that about accurate?
Until his arms would fall off.
He already hit the post tonight on a great wrister as he walked in. Forsberg flashed and gave him nothing to look at. And he rang it off the iron. And there is Nichushkin. He just jammed that puck up and out with the end of his blade. Stützle, tied up, Foul took it away again. Loose puck controlled by the Sens as Brown throws it deep. Holden, former Colorado Avalanche, rams it into the neutral zone. Then he'll bring it in, and the Avs make a nice steal. Eric Johnson pushes those legs to the red line. He will dump and change. Nick Holden has had quite the interesting career. Again, for the Colorado Avalanche, really when he got his big break, his big opportunity to play major minutes. And then went to the Rangers, went to the Golden Knights, give it up top for Jack Johnson, and that shot never got through. Cleared out by the Sens. And it's an icing call on Ottawa. Well, the Tkachuk family, let's take a look at what they're doing here. Of course, Matthew older than Brady, so he's had more opportunity in the league.
And Dad was an absolute stud.
Horse.
I mean, you don't play any bigger, any stronger, any meaner than Keith Tkachuk. Keith Tkachuk and Adam Foote was an unbelievable physical battle. Tkachuk was bigger. Neither one of the boys are anywhere close to the physical beast that the old man was.
Oh, he was. Oh, he parked himself down low, and it took an act of Congress to try to have him removed from in front of your netminder. Just a nasty and mean, Pete. You're right. Rammed up the boards. Toews makes the steal. Bounces it off. Here's McKinnon. He'll dart right through Batherson to the circle. McKinnon walks it in. Loose puck as it went off the end of his stick. Avs will fight for it, and a penalty is coming up. It's going to be a hook, as we are tied at 2 with 7 minutes and 36 seconds to go here in period number 1. The Avs will be shorthanded for the first time tonight. Burakovsky.
Colorado 95. 2-minute fighting penalty. Okay.
In that scrum, Burakovsky just got that stick out and yanked.
Here's a little look at 95 for the Colorado Avalanche. It's the right call in today's hockey, but it's not a lot. But they are. It's more emotion. I was surprised. It's more of a protection of the hands of the players because there's so many of those slashes. Were at the other end of it, where the guys were slashing on the hands as opposed to just hooking.
Shabbat down the boards. Near side Norris settles that puck down, delivers, and a save by Johansson. Yeah, Peter used to say, here's when the two shorthanded goals on the year is tied for the league lead. He jams it in. But the wrists, a lot of wrists, a lot of hands, and the league said, we don't want that anymore. And so, you know, if we're talking old-time hockey, I mean, you can take your stick and abuse somebody, but not anymore. Good dance around by Kachuk. Stutzler had it knocked free. That puck is loose into the corner. Booted by Kachuk. The Avs could not get it out. One-timer wide of the net by Norris, and he got all of it. Stutzler trapped. It comes behind the Avalanche cage, and there's EJ with the backhand. Out it comes. See if the Avs can get a change. They do. Broken up by Logan O'Connor. He'll lean for that puck and jam it all the way down. Helm is on his horse. Forsberg steers it aside. Aaron Helm already with a tally here tonight. Even strength goal. He does have a shorthanded goal this season. The Avs with 5 are now one back. Dennis got those heels dug into the ice and gave that puck up. Second unit now on for Smith. Dennis bangs it back up top to the near side. It's Zaitsev. Make that Brown, I'm sorry. Back to the point. Marvin finds Brown. Wrist shot. Deflected wide of the cage again, that time by Tierney. Flipped by Girard to the hashes. Sens pick it up again. Time winding down in the Avalanche kill. They want to keep the Sens on the outside. Foreman with his shot. Knocked down in front off a leg. Swung around and eludes Brown, and he gathers it back in. Kick to the far side. Ennis with a shot, and it's wide of the net yet again. And Burakovsky's out of the box. Avs get a hold of it, and here comes Val to Burakovsky. 1-on-3, he'll work his way in. Gives it up, shot! Saved by Forsberg as McKinnon stepped into one in a big-time way. And he just can't buy a goal right now. It's cold and snowy in Ottawa. We're tied at 2. Ottawa winding down period at number 1. And look at the Avs continue to pour it in.
Well, Florida, they've had a wild last week or so. Edmonton is just crazy with those top 2 guys. The Avalanche are number 1. But at the other end, and this is where it's going to be motion. And what's hurt them the most, Ottawa, is the goaltending. They thought they went out, they got Matt Murray from Pittsburgh. He'd won a couple of Stanley Cups. You know, he was going to be the answer. Well, he's down and out, now down in the minors. And so a young club just gets eaten up by bad goaltending. Because it's bad goaltending against, you know, a bad goal, pardon me. When you're a good club, it's nothing. It's just water off the duck's back. But you get against a young club that's just trying to win hockey games, it can kill you.
Landeskog picks the puck up after the Eric Johnson shot. There's Girard throwing it off the leg. It's hit it. Works it through the corner. Finds EJ. The Condor is in. Tried to center it off for Burakovsky. And it's chopped away by the Senators. Incidentally, we've had a chance to look back. The Devon Taves goal is going to be Gabe Landeskog's goal once the officials have a chance to review it, I'm sure, during the first intermission.
Well, Mose, we thought last night Gabe said he touched it. Or the other night, Gabe said he touched it. McCarr said, yeah, it was Landy's goal, he touched it. In the locker room,
Mikko said he touched it.
Mikko said, yeah, and the game-winning goal was by Landeskog, and they never changed it. So, who knows?
Well, that puck definitely changed direction. Our crew here doing a great job at the Altitude Studios in Denver. Brought back inside. That shot saved by Jonas Johansson. It's actually Gambrell who let that one go. 27, not 22, as that puck rolls slowly and steered aside. I've got the update for you as well on the last goalie to give up 8 and then come back and give up 1.
Well, you do.
When we have an opportunity, I will tell you. Senators with an easy clear. Comes it in, shot over the top of the net. Puck is picked up by Jack Johnson. He'll find the glass, and that puck will stay in the zone. Was it knocked down with a high stick? I think it was. It rolls into the neutral zone. There's a whistle. Hey, Avalanche fans, game time means it is Mountain Time. And Mountain Time is a cold, crisp, crushable lager from New Belgium Brewing in Fort Collins. Game time does mean it's Mountain Time, so go grab a case.
Are you a set the tree up, decorate it, have a few mountain times, and just sort of relax?
1,000, a few. I make sure the tree. I make sure the tree is within arm's length of the fridge, Pete. That's how you roll.
I know what your definition of a few means. You know, it's all relative.
Well,
trust me.
It's such a good beer. What can I say? An icy cold on the Avalanche.
I can just see the tilted side. you take one side, the bear takes the other. And
right.
All heck breaks loose.
This side seems to be sort of stuck. There's a lot of in one place.
That tinsel just looks tossed on.
All right, so Jonas Johansson went from 8 to 1. Yep. -7 is the second best in the expansion era. Sean Burke gave up 9 goals in one game, played the back-to-back, gave up 1 the next game for Hartford back in 1992. So Sean Burke has the greatest maker-upper time shot. Saved by Johansson. That puck is kicked up the slot. Senators keep it in. Long shot gloved by Johansson as he pounded it into the eyes. He's got it.
So we didn't realize we were looking at history the other night.
Yeah,
almost. If he had shut him down, it would have been 8, and that would have tied the record.
Well, Sean Burke was such a big goalie too.
Oh, he was great. He came over. He was drafted by Hartford. Pardon me, by the New Jersey Devils, and then traded to Hartford. Went to Arizona, and has been a big factor.
Those were his best years.
Oh, was he a great guy? Goodness gracious, he was. When those swashbuckling Devils were going crazy, he was really good.
Puck is down. Here is Girard. Oh my God. The guys on that team. Now to McKinnon. He'll hustle his way in through Shabbat. And what a terrific play by Shabbat to recover and able to clear that zone. It's hard to contain 29 as the Sens pounded into their own bench. Norris did the honors.
Yeah, Shabbat was one of the names. When the Duchesne trade was going on and all that conversation, Shabbat was one of those guys that people were talking about as far as if the trade is going to be made. As a matter of fact, I'm positive that his name came up as, yes, he has been traded on my text messages.
Wow. He was not, of course, after all. Matt Duchesne did tell me as well. After that trade went down, he had a chance to play with Shabbat in Ottawa for a while. He said, this kid is so good. So I take your word for it. He goes, he's going to be great. And he got rewarded with a huge contract, 8 for 8. Tierney. That puck slithers all the way to the end. McKinnon gave it up. Avs want to get it out in a hurry. Landeskog, though, spins and fires. Ward sends that wide of the cage. Avs now getting their change, and there is Shabbat. He plays a ton of minutes every single night.
It'll be 25 plus, no question, in tonight's game.
Just a workhorse. Norris pinned by O'Connor. Here's Tyson Jost. Tried to jam it up front. Puck is knocked loose. It hopped right through O'Connor as he couldn't close his skates in time. And Ennis takes a hit as he dumps it in. Avs getting physical now. Norris to Ennis, shoots! Saved by Johansson. McDermott may have sacrificed his body. Rink wide pass, and right now the Avs are loosey-goosey in their own end. That puck came to Ennis, and he was all alone. Oh my goodness. Ennis, chased by McDermott, sends it off. There's a broken stick, as you can see, and there's EJ to settle things down. He'll use his legs to escape. Now Eric Johnson is doing yeoman's work tonight. Makes a change. Crushed into the inboards. Megna down on his knees, trying to get up. Puck still in his skates. Hetherington had him pinned. Lassie Thompson swings it off. Ambrell is in. A little pirouette move through the corner, pinned by McDonald. Jacob McDonald and the Eagles last night fell to the Tucson Roadrunners by a final of 4-1. That was the first game back for Pavel Francouz. Good to see him get some ice time on a conditioning stint. Pounded by the Avs. Quick shot, saved by Forsberg. Puck is loose in the slot. Another save by Forsberg, and he'll dive for the loose change in front of him with 57.9 seconds left.
Well, we've played now 4 periods just about of hockey against the Avalanche versus Ottawa, and there's been 16 goals scored so far. They're not a boring hockey club. I mean, there's stuff going on all the time. They may give up some chances, obviously, but they get her going at the other end. When Pierre McGuire came into our booth the other night and said, you know, we may look like we're a long, he's now assistant general manager there with Ottawa, but he said we may look like we're a long way away, but with the guys we have in the farm system, the draft picks that we have, we figure we're just 3 or 4 players away from being really good.
And they could be. They have some definite building pieces, not only on the current roster, but in the system. And I think that's what he was most proud of. The way they've drafted as of late and the picks that they will have coming up, they have an opportunity really to accumulate a lot of talent through the Sens. Dropped into the trapezoid, reversed by Forsberg. He threw a run up Shabbat's leg. It's at the point. Good keep in by Sammy G, but it's fed off for Zaitsev. Run it by Rantanen, and Mikko down to the ice, and that puck is out. Racing forward, Tkachuk. Head up, sends it far side. Shabbat with a wrist shot, wide of the net, and Tkachuk was there for the redirection. He's got the opportunity. Mikko was lined up by Zaitsev, and now we're in the final 6 seconds. Brown, one more run. Couldn't pull the trigger. The puck got away from him, and that will do it for period 1 in Ottawa. So we'll be all even heading to the dressing room.
Just a continuation of what we saw in Colorado. Lots of chances, you know, some pretty good saves by both goaltenders.
At the end of 1, it's the Avalanche 2 and the Ottawa Senators 2. You're watching the entire center in Ottawa. We're being down by Mark Mosier back in the Altitude Studios, and it's now official. They have changed the Avs' second goal to Gabe Landeskog, and we had a great angle where we could see it.
Yeah, you're just going to see him just tip off just the end of his stick, as he does so well for the Colorado Avalanche.
This is the look right here, right?
Here's the look right there, yeah. The goaltender has no opportunity on that. You see how it lines up and how Taves gets the shot through. That's one of the things that he really does well. He gets the shot through. We have seen that so often. And Moshe, I don't know. You know, I haven't talked to Gabe personally in a while because, you know, we just don't have that opportunity. And, you know, you don't want to talk to the players because, you know, you want to keep communication or, you know, being around them, you know, down to as little as possible. But has he had a better start to a season?
He's got 8 goals and 23 points in this, his 19th game. This has been terrific. Here are the Geico stats for bundling made easy. Go to geico.com. Avs poking that puck, cannot keep it in. Brady Tkachuk able to slither that one into the Avalanche zone deep as Taves. Run it by Norris. Here's Tkachuk now. Had the first goal of the game. Did Brady Tkachuk. Got away from McKinnon. Nowhere to go with it. McKinnon keeping him on the outside. No danger here. Now Norris bangs it to the point. Shabbat had it tipped over to the far side. After Tkachuk, some good offensive pressure for the Avs. Finally end up making the steal as McKinnon brings it ahead. Drops it for Burakovsky, and the Avs are offside. I'm not sure I saw that. Well, the Avs are still dealing with injuries and more tonight. Cale Makar did take warm-up, missing with an upper body. Nazem Kadri was out tonight. We know Bowen Byram's out, Darcy Kemper, and list goes on, Pete.
And when you're looking at it and you're breaking it down, what is not in the lineup for the Avalanche tonight? Your number 1 goaltender, your number 2 goaltender at the start of the season. Your superstar defenseman, your Kadri, your leading scorer,
30 points, yeah.
Leading scorer, besides the top 3 guys in the league who are just having monster years, he's the best in the National Hockey League. So you got key guys out for the Avs.
So we'll see what the latest will be when the Avs head to Philadelphia for a Monday night tilt. Brought in by Stützle, down the slot, got knocked down. The puck crossed the goal line, but the net was knocked off its moorings, and they say no goal. Well, Tim Stützle comes flying into the Avalanche zone.
Did the referee even have his hand up?
I don't believe he did.
I did not see the referee raise his hand.
There is Stützle saying, what's going on here? At least they'll have a discussion about it.
Now, this is what the Avalanche were talking about, those quick entries into the zone. You know, what did Johnson do? I mean, the man just skated right down the slot.
Yes, DJ's calling for a penalty shot. Stützle, the former 3rd overall pick, in the 2020 draft. Referees tonight are Kendrick Nicholson.
Is that the Colorado player pushed the Ottawa player into the goaltender, then the puck crossed the goal line. We have a good goal.
Wow. It's a goal. I'm telling you, in the back of my mind, I'm going, there's no way this is going to be a goal. But when you watch it, it is exactly, because the net can come off, and as long as the puck goes in across the goal line, I haven't seen this called in forever. Now watch the puck. Johnson, I mean, then how much farther off the moorings can the net be? Right there, and then the puck goes in.
Yeah, it crawls across the goal line, which is why I said it, that the puck followed them in. Let's take a look at the overhead. Now, here's Johnson on Stützle. The puck is already way off his stick, and it just tracks and follows everybody across the goal line. There it is right there.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Jack Johnson had the best. What? You know, he just takes the man off right there.
It's just something you never, ever see.
So seldom, because I've often seen a guy go driving into the net, knock the net off just as the shot's coming. But I've never seen it follow, very seldom seen it follow the guy right in after the guy was knocked down. So the three guys are sliding right through the crease. They're in behind the goal line, basically, all three of them.
And there goes the puck across the goal line.
Across the goal line.
So now they're going to talk about it with Toronto again. Kendrick Nicholson is one guy in the headset. Garrett Rank is the other. And there is Stützle. If it does go to Tim Stützle,
the Avalanche must be...
It'll be a second.
Well, Avalanche must be saying goaltender interference, right?
Well, did he make an attempt to slow down? Did Johnson push him, or did they just wrench on each other? Because Stützle came down the slot like a...
He was cutting in.
There's the hit.
And he moved... Johansson has no shot, zero of making the save. That's one thing for sure, because the skate hit his pad and just drove him straight back. Watch the skate right there, and it just drives him back. He's got no shot at getting involved in that save.
So they'll talk about it with Toronto. Now they're looking at it again. I wonder if Jared Bednar, they did not announce that Bednar had challenged for goalie interference.
Okay.
But again, did Johnson lean into Stützle? Let's listen in.
After video review, the call on the ice is confirmed goal.
Okay, so they're going to call it a good goal for the Ottawa Senators. Then the Avs will now trail 3-2 as Stützle picks up his second of the year. Let's take one last look at it, Pete.
And watch the skate pushes Johansson right in behind. He is literally in the net 100% before the puck crosses the line. But the referee said that Johnson had pushed the man down in what has been a crazy two-game series, or four periods plus in this series, Moshe, and it has just been all kinds of strange goals.
Yeah, if you like crazy hockey, you'd love to see these teams play a series someday. That's if you like crazy hockey.
I like crazy hockey.
Well, I know that you do. So Ottawa's on top for the second time tonight. They had a 2-1 lead before Landeskog tied it up on the power play in the first period. And now Ottawa's taking a lead early in period number 2, 1:13 in. So the Avs have some work to do.
I still like Jack Johnson's response. What?
Well, both Johnsons said one at the same time. Must be a Johnson thing. Eric gives it off for Jack. Here comes Jack Johnson. That puck is rammed in from the red line as it rolls to the near side. Very quiet at the Canadian Tire Center tonight. And we say that the Canadian Tire Center is just outside the main city of Ottawa, but still in Ottawa. And is it just outside, Peter, or do you have to take a while to get there? I'll say,
you're kidding, right?
Yeah, it's out in the middle of nowhere.
And that's what makes, like, after tonight's game, it's about 2 hours before you actually get on the plane and get yourself moving towards Philadelphia.
4 minutes with a shot, and that's deflected up high off the glass. At the point, kept in by Holden, the Tierney, and nobody home on the near side. So again, that's the Avs defensive zone coverage. We have a whistle, and the net is off its mooring.
Is there a goal, Mo? Did we miss a goal?
Here it is last time.
Again, I am going through my Rolodex of trying to remember when this happened. Now, I have seen a lot of times when two players will slide into the net and knock the net off, and then there's a shot, and you have to determine whether it crossed the goal line and would have counted and all that. I'm sure right there. You think Johansson right there thinking, oh, I just let it in a goal?
No, not at all. He's like, what could I do? Now, again, to clarify for everyone out there, what the officials are saying is that Jack Johnson pushed Stutzla into Johansson, knocked all three of them and the net off, and then the puck on the continuation followed in. It's a good goal. Kachuk tried to stuff it at the short side, and that puck is smothered in the blue paint by the Avalanche netminder. So, again, it's sort of a bit of a stunning development as that great camera angle, both Jack Johnson and Erik Johnson both go, what?
I always take goals like that and move them into really maybe much more important situations. Can you imagine that as an overtime goal that was to win a playoff series?
Oh. Well, you just have so much howling from the losing team. Shabbat. Out of the point, gets it back from Zaitsev. Turns and fires. Save by Johansson. Loose puck. Shot. Score. Norris cleans up as the Avs could not locate the puck. And all of a sudden, the Ottawa Senators have jumped out to a 4-2 lead early in period number 2. Well, this may just be one of those nights.
Well, it already is. We've only played 23 minutes of this hockey game. And the thing that I like about Norris on this play is watch when he gets the puck, Moj. Watch just his reaction. The puck comes across, gets it, one step, boom. You know, no panic, no nothing. They really think they have found something with this Norris. He's a good player. Now you start dropping in. What an important year this is.
Well, Pete, will we see the National Hockey League debut of Justus Annunen? We'll see. Yeah, and we will. Jonas Johansson will be pulled from the game, and here comes the Avs' former third-round pick. See if any justice will come up tonight here for Justus as the Avs will insert him for his first National Hockey League action. Called up right before the game against Montreal. Had to make his way to the rink, so Jet Alexander was the Avalanche backup goalie to start the game, the emergency goalie. And now Annunen, who is try to recall, Pete, the reigning goalie of the month in the AHL, yes, at least the Western Conference, after a terrific November for the Colorado Eagles, will see action.
And it was interesting, they didn't throw him in the Montreal game, even though they scored 8.
Well, actually, it was, yeah, the Montreal game, correct, yeah.
And, you know, just because he had just flown in, they didn't think it would be fair. So this is a much better situation. Now, you don't want to be down 4-2, and you don't want to be going in this situation, but at least you've had a practice with the team and all of those things.
Norris was part of the deal that brought Carlson to the Sharks. Former first-round pick of San Jose, and now he's become the top center in Ottawa on a team that's in a rebuild. Stutzla's back in, ramps it up the boards. There's a long shot, saved by Annunen. That's his first career National Hockey League save, and he's got a hold of the loose puck. So there he is. I like his gear, and here are the particulars.
And how about his number? Who wore number 6?
Jose Theodore.
Jose Theodore, one of my favorite Avalanche defenseman. Was he a smooth, debonair guy?
Oh, well, I tell you what, as far as goalies are concerned, he was just one of the coolest, wasn't he?
Oh my goodness gracious, he had it going. It was just hilarious.
He had this flow about him. There's Johansson. That puck is lobbed up and out by McDermott. Avs will chase after it. And again, a move like this, as the Avs bring it in there offside, is also to try to get the team jump-started up front after they were loose in their own zone. There's Annunen. And here are the notable goalies we were talking about. We went back to David Abisher, but of course, Peter Budaj was a second-round pick in 01. Played major minutes for this Avalanche squad.
And Mark Denis, of course, he was the goaltender. The Avalanche, that was the first ever they had been transferred to. Colorado. He was the first ever draft pick of the Colorado Avalanche.
Played just a short time with the Avalanche before he was dealt. At center ice. Dropped at the point. Stolen away from Sanford. Avs will take it. With Eric Johnson in stride, trying to get free is Magna. Puck is loose to Joe. And again, the Avs looking for a spark now offensively. They got it on the power play. It was such a quick power play goal by Landeskog. Foreman back on the near side. Got it poked away from behind, but Shabbat, as always, helps out. Jack Johnson in the collision with Tierney. That's off the leg. His helmet could not clear. Newhook bangs it up the boards, but not out. Long shot, saved by Adanen, and he'll hold on. So he located that one from way outside, and again, not a great start in October for the young goalie, but a terrific November where, again, you come over to North America, you've got to get adjusted to so many things after spending your whole life in Finland.
Well, culturally, you're coming over from Finland to Colorado. I mean, that is a huge change. And then all of a sudden, the rink is so dramatically different.
Long wrist shot. Shabbat turns it off a leg. Far side. Up the boards with it. Picked up now by Landeskog. He'll rumble. Norris on the back check did a good job on the Avalanche captain. Gets away. Swung to the left point. Aims up top, Gerard finds McKinnon, a shot and a save by Forsberg. And that's his first save of period number 2. We're over 5 minutes in.
And Moshe, you know, this is just a matter of time. McKinnon has had a whole bunch of looks from his scoring areas. And, you know, we talked about the frustration, but, you know, it's just going to build. When you're built like these great players are built, they just do not accept not producing.
One of our outstanding altitude people, part of the broadcast team, is from Finland. And try to say Ananen the way he would say it in Finland. It's not easy. Justus Ananen looking for some justice tonight. Avdi to come back, though. They're trailing 4-2 as that puck is deflected all the way down the ice, and an icing call on the Senators. Here's some of the goalies that we've seen this season for the Avalanche, or at least wore a sweater. There's Jed Alexander. Yeah, he was in Toronto, I should say, and had that jersey made for him.
Look at the headshot. You know, and that, you know that Lee Blair's going to keep that all year long. Every time we go to goaltender, doesn't matter how many we use, we're going to see Jet.
We were talking about that earlier. He's going to keep. Yeah, he is going to keep him in there.
Oh, yeah.
Look, he took warm-ups. He was on the bench. He had a sweater with his name on it. Alexander, #1. So he's part of it. Had to sign the professional tryout contract, Pete, as the Sens are offside, bringing it in. And right now, things have just gotten very stuck in molasses in period 2 in Ottawa.
Yeah, all the excitement that we saw in the first period, all of the flow as far as and not good flow necessarily against the Colorado Avalanche, has just stopped here in the second period.
Rantanen can't win the draw. And you've got to wonder if Jared Bednar is saving that one for a little bit later, perhaps reuniting the top line. Because right now it's Rantanen, as it has been for most of the game, with O'Connor and Nichushkin on line #2 with the absence of Nazem Kadri. Wrist shot wide of the net. Burakovsky has gone to the Avs top line. It still has with McKinnon and Landeskog. O'Connor fighting for that loose puck. The Avs just don't have a lot of jump right now. They just don't have a lot of flow going on at all. Brown shoots, saved by Ananen at the post. The young Finn hangs on, and here's his first action. You love to see it, but you don't love the score. Avs trailing 4-2.
They're winning in style. I mean, they're scoring goals. They're fun to watch.
You remember that Kaprizov that didn't start out well? That Kaprizov is gone, and the normal Kirill Kaprizov has come to play. Wow, that's a stunning turn of events there. Toronto's good. Avs turn it, or they turn the puck over. That shot deflected wide of the net. Picked up by Helm, away from Eric Johnson. Darren Helm will score the Avs' first goal of the game. Flops it up ice. Could it be an icing call? It's waved off. Good job by Obed Kubel. Helm crashing into the pile in the corner. He's got the puck. Wants to dangle out front. Gives it up, and a shot save by Forsberg, and he clings that puck to his body. Newhook let the laser of a wrister go.
Nice play by Helm right there to get that puck to Newhook. Newhook had the game-winning goal last time these two clubs played. A nice play down low, but today, nice save by Forsberg. That could have really shifted things in this hockey game.
Yeah, he read that puck and he just plopped himself right there. Incidentally, you recall the other day Kyle's blue tongue, right, Pete?
Uh-huh.
There was a whole mess of Jolly Ranchers down there, from what I understand. And again, you and I up here.
Yes.
None were sent our way. Long shot dished wide of the cage.
I'm not really a Jolly Rancher guy. Sorry.
Oh, then you and I can't be friends.
Good.
Boards. Taken by Zaitsev. He got away from Taves. Swings it up ice for Norris, and a penalty coming up on the Avalanche. Another one on Burakovsky. This will be the second minor on Andre Burakovsky in period, or in this game, I should say. One in period number 1, and now in period number 2.
Well, you have to be impressed with Norris. And Moshe, you got to follow it a little bit. When the game started, the coaching staff for the Ottawa Senators said, we're going to play our best line against the Avs' best line. And you could just see from last game that McKinnon was going to start eating things up. So this was a big challenge. And Norris has a nice goal in this hockey game, draws a penalty right there.
Officially a tripping call. Burakovsky didn't like it. It looked like he got the stick. But I guess he got a piece of the skate with it. Nonetheless, the Avs have to go on the kill here. Ottawa's power play, 0 for 1 on the night. Good job there by EJ to lay out. On the season, they're 23rd in the NHL. Swung off for Stutzler. Dangles, holds, shoots, and scores! Tim Stutzler's second goal of the game, his third of the season. It's a power play goal, and right now the Ottawa Senators have blown it wide open.
Okay, Moshe, there's what Pierre McGuire was talking about. Some of this young talent. This kid held the puck. The Avalanche player slides through, and then he fires a rocket.
He's all by himself
on the right side. Waits, and then bang. That. Now, his first goal was the one where he slid into the net, so this is a little bit of a different situation. This is an NHL goal. Look at the head. You build on that, Moshe. You build on that.
He waited for Eric Johnson to clear on the slide and then just fired it inside the post. That is a big-time National Hockey League goal. And right now the Avs are in a little bit of a disarray. They're looking for any kind of spark they can get back in this hockey game.
Yeah,
it was a 2-2 game after 2, and in the first 9 minutes of the second period, the Sens have scored 3 times.
Yeah, the Avalanche have not done a whole lot in this entire second period.
Stolen away, Nichushkin works his way in, poked free. Good recovery there by the Sens. Up top, McDonald throws it off a hip. That was Tierney. Here's Megna. Pin. Puck is loose up the boards. Now got knocked down from behind by Hetherington, and it's out. Fired through center ice by McDermott, swept in by Jost, but he needs a change. So a 7-5 game, the first matchup November 22nd in Denver. And now the Sens have scored 5 goals in this game. The Avs would need 5 unanswered to match what we saw just a couple of weeks ago. Tkachuk. That one rolls to the point. A long shot by Zaitsev, and good save by Annunen. Now Gerard is pinned. Landeskog getting into it with Tkachuk. That's captain on captain aggression. Tkachuk wants to go. Let him go. Come on now. Let's do it. Everybody wanted to see captains retumble, including myself. And the linesmen say no. You hear the crowd at the Canadian Tire Center booing. It's probably the right call. At least that's what I'll tell you on the air.
Well, Brady Tkachuk in the middle of the interesting controversy last, what, 10 days?
Yeah.
Lemieux.
Brendan Lemieux suspended 5 games for biting incident.
For biting him, and Tkachuk has some very choice words, and you know, but that's how he plays. That's the way that he plays the game, and you can just feel the energy that he brings. The same that Landy gives the Colorado Avalanche.
You know what I like about all that? There's no penalties called.
Yeah.
Hey, guys being angry, so let's just go to your benches and let's keep playing the game. So that was a good move, I think, by the referees to not dig anybody up for anything.
That was a classic no harm, no foul situation.
Avs got to find some mojo here. They've got 2 shots on goal in this period. We're almost halfway through. They just seem sort of shell-shocked by what's happened. Stützle, chased by O'Connor. Gets loose to Hetherington. That shot, up the skate, banged into the corner. Paul trying to come up with it for the Sens. Had it swatted, goes to the point. Giving up rink wide, wrist shot, kick save, Anunen, and here's Newhook to clear it out. Well, the one goal that Anunen has given up, you couldn't blame him. Newhook dangling down the slot, shoots and scores! Alex Newhook! The pick-me-up the Avalanche needed, and that was a true goal scorer's goal. The Avs have cut the gap. It's now a 5-3 game, and that's why he was a first-round draft pick. What an absolute beauty for his 4th.
Well, certainly the best goal that he has scored so far for the Colorado Avalanche in his short NHL career. But this is spectacular. I mean, you don't dance. I mean, he just literally danced the defenseman for the Ottawa Senators and then buried it top shelf. And Moshe, if the Avalanche were looking for a spark, this has to be it. Wow.
That was elite. I mean, elite level play. His teammates know it. He knows it. And so maybe that will sort of jar this Avalanche team, Pete. You're only down by 2. You're the top scoring team in the NHL, and there's half the game still left.
Let's go back to the goal again as he just walks through the middle.
O'Connor causes it.
Oh, everything is right. Poor defenseman just bit on the whole 9 yards.
Saw Lassie Thompson on the bench.
Yeah,
staring into the abyss.
Got talked to by the coach, showed him on the video.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, it's no fun being a defenseman against something like that against you.
That pass is broken up. It's onside. McKinnon now out with Joseph Burakovsky. That's turned across the goal mouth. Here's McKinnon all by his lonesome, trying to dangle his way in. Shabbat with a great poke check there. What a terrific defensive play by Shabbat. Now Zaitsev holds. McKinnon will go off. So a lot of time left. It's over the glass off the stick of Shabbat. And a timeout is coming your way. Will that be the spark that can get the Avs back in it? Alex Newhook is 4th of the year on a beauty. Avs trail by 2.
Second period, he picked it up, he danced to the middle, just buries the defenseman. And all of a sudden the Avalanche get a little juice from that. But what a hockey family.
Oh, absolutely. His sister, Abby Newhook, the Hockey East Rookie of the Month. She's a forward there for the Boston College Eagles.
Yes.
And 14 points in 15 games. You're doing something right.
You know, and you got to be, you know, he was asked whether or not who was the best player, and you know, he said, no, not me.
No. Same with JT Compher and his sister Jessie.
Yeah.
She's an awesome player. Abby Newhook, rising star. That long shot deflected wide. Here's the captain, Gabe Landeskog. He's out there with McKinnon and Rantanen now. The top line has been reunited. Comes back to Mikko. Sent to the side of the net. Stuck away there by Forsberg. That's fed to Tkachuk. And flipped up in the air. Norris chasing to the half court. It's jammed down deep with a backhanded two-hand shot. Batherson escapes. On the near side. Brady Tkachuk. Avs collapse upon him, and that puck is out. But again, if you're the reunited top line for the Avalanche, you want to be in the other zone, not in your own end. As DJ Smith, as you said says we'll go top line against top line, and so far it's worked tonight. Hey, score $100 in a Colorado Avalanche jersey when you open a qualified KeyBank checking account by December 31st. Visit a KeyBank branch or go to key.com/avalanche.
When you're looking at a guy like Nathan MacKinnon, now he's missed a lot of games, but during a regular long run in the playoffs, you've got an 82-game schedule, you've got the All-Star game you're obligated to go to, and maybe 24 games, so it's a 105-game schedule. These guys go
perhaps the Olympics.
I was going to say, now you go to the Olympics, you've got to start planning for these guys to play close to 112 to 14 games. Now, the season is longer. It's not 181 or 2 games. I believe it's 200 days long. So there are some nuances to this year's schedule. But boy, oh boy, you're asking a lot of these young guys.
Yeah, and will the teams go to the Olympics or will they not? That still remains to be seen. Ennis trips himself up as he threw the puck to the other side of the ice. Now Rantanen able to send it high in the air and out. Nichushkin just couldn't quite catch up as Ennis brings it right back in. Walks his way to the circle. Picked up by Girard, and a penalty coming up on Girard. Going to be a trip. So the Avs will be short-handed yet again. It'll be their 3rd minor of the game.
Well, is this one of those ones where you trip him, or does Ennis step on his stick?
I think he tripped him. That's my thought. Yeah.
Tripped him.
MacKinnon laying the hit right there.
How many times have we seen guys try to take a little run at MacKinnon and just end up exactly where that Ottawa Senator player ended up?
Well, your keister.
Yep.
Formanton, he got away with perhaps that one hit on MacKinnon away from the puck. So then the trip was easy to see in the circle, but again, the Avs get that goal from Newhook completely unassisted. O'Connor had forced the turnover in the neutral zone.
Let's not forget, O'Connor did a nice job. The puck was on the Ottawa Senator's stick. He's the one that turned it over.
But now you've got to go right to the PK. Shot by the Senators and Batherson, deflected up into the screen, and so we'll do it all over again. 9 seconds into the Sens' 3rd power play of the night. The Avs have only had 1 power play chance of their own, and that was in the first period, a trip on Josh Norris. So Annunen is being called upon to lock things down right here. He's given up a goal, but it was not his fault at all. It was a beautiful shot by Tim Stützle. Elman Kachuk getting instructions from the linesman. Sens win the draw again. Far side one-timer, wide of the net. Puck swings along the boards. Scooted up past the half boards. Good clear out by Helm. Got just enough on it to send it all the way deep. He's tied up there. Sticks in his gear. He can't get up off the ice. And now Batherson collects his stick as well. Ottawa fans banging on the glass right there by our microphone. Batherson through center ice. Chuck. It up top, Shabbat. Now it's Stützle. Back to Shabbat, he'll go. Top of the circle now, in a shot. Wide of the net again, and it's deflected into the screen. It's time for tonight's. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll wait for 1 second. We're going to bring you the Taco Bell take, and we still will, with technical difficulties in our control room. We'll prevent that right now. I can do. You want to give me the sound effect, Pete?
I'll stay away from it. It only works if you can see it.
I'll give you one. Dong.
You're much bebetter at it. I'm going to leave it up to you.
I don't think I am. Sens win the draw. Ennis. Twirls. Dishes. Shot. Blocked. Into the corner it goes. Taves hovering. Now EJ's got some room, and off the glass he finds it all the way down. Here's O'Connor! Oh my goodness, Forsberg almost cuffed it up. Here's a shot, glove saved by Forsberg. He'll hold on as Tyson Jost ripped it to the front of the Ottawa net. Oh, the Avs almost caught the Sens in a bad one.
Most, you've talked about it, and I keep saying, no, it's not going to be that big a factor. But I think you're right. I don't think they think he's that fast. Because how many times have we seen Logan O'Connor breaking in situations where the guy should know, like last night, or the last game party in Montreal, the guy should have known he was coming, didn't, and all of a sudden there's a turnover right there. He just completely outskated the guy.
You lollygag against O'Connor, and he's going to make you gag with terrific plays and hard work. Power play for the Sens is almost over. 15 seconds left. We just love to see that hustle. He never gives up. Quick shot, kick save, and that puck is cleared off a leg. Good attentive play there. Now foul. Steers it through everyone, but it comes out of the zone, and there's O'Connor chasing again. You've got to want to forecheck like that, Peter. Out of the box is Girard. The puck careens back to the Ottawa zone. You just got to want to forecheck and use those legs and burn like O'Connor does. It's got to be a lot of desire.
The thing that I like is there's no second guessing. Wherever the puck is, it's a straight line move that he makes.
Avs able to kick it up and out. Senators, though, on the back check, collapse upon it. Back to the Avalanche zone goes Taves. Avs trailing by 2 goals as time winds down here in period number 2. A lot of time left, but the Avs got to get some more mojo going here. Maybe Mikko can handle it. Dropped him with the backhand. Good neutral zone coverage, though, by the Senators. The Avs have not had a lot of easy entries in puck possession, and it's cleared right back out. Jack Johnson has Logan Paul on him, and they collide. Again, the top line reunited, but they just can't spend time in the offensive zone.
You know, you got to give credit to Ottawa. They've got a good game plan there. You know, you got to be a little bit, like, really smart with the puck.
On the net, saved by Anu, and not once but twice. Norris has a broken stick, and did he glove the puck? They say no. Kick behind the cage for EJ. He'll reverse it. Norris still without his stick, and Jack Johnson rams it ahead. Landeskog rink wide trying to find Mikko. It's poked in on Holden. Controlled by McKinnon. He's still out there. McKinnon dancing, tried to dish it in front, and another stick in the way. This is the normal Avs play now. Kept in by McDonald. That pass missed the target. Sammy G. Twitting. Quick shot by Burakovsky over the top. Shot there by McKinnon, and it went off the pad of Forsberg. Finally, the Avs are putting the pressure on the Ottawa Senators. Brady Tkachuk tied up Girard just for a moment, and Burakovsky can't handle it. It's sent up and out. Oh, man, the Avs really had the Sens dead tired. They needed a change. Aubé-Kubel tried the return pass. Picked up now by Megna. Shot safe. Rebound pushed wide by Aubé-Kubel. It bounced on him. Avs keeping the play going. Pressure everywhere. Aubé-Kubel spinning away. Couldn't find Burakovsky. Stick on that puck. Sanford could not get it deep. Megna on the counterattack. Drops it off. Here's Burakovsky. Centering pass to Aubé-Kubel. Tried to turn it for Taves, and it was a little bit too far out of his wheelhouse. Good idea, just could not execute it from Aubé-Kubel. Maybe the best couple of shifts the Avs have seen all game long.
The energy. And when the Avs, when there's this kind of energy in the game, it's usually favoring the Avalanche.
Stolen away in the slot. Newhook down for Jones. He turns and shoots it wide out the net. Oh my goodness. Girard a wrist shot, and that's knocked away. Oh, Tyson Jost couldn't get it on from that difficult angle, and it deflects up into the crowd. Timeout coming your way in period number 2 in Ottawa. The Avs still trailing the Sens 5-3.
For a second, it forced him to let the puck go and then try to recapture and get control.
Yeah, that might have been a better play by Forsberg than we realized in real time, because Jost was, he's not going to miss on a turnaround like that, but Forsberg had that stick out, and now we have a collision in the neutral zone, and a whistle had blown. Landeskog and Shabbat tangled up in front of the Avalanche bench. Ooh, Landeskog. Yeah, he lost an edge and was falling down, and he gets Shabbat from behind. Not intentional.
Yeah, but if you're the Ottawa Senators, you're not seeing the stumble by Landeskog. You're just seeing Landeskog take the skate out.
Avs will steer that puck in. McKinnon's on the hunt for it, but can't get there. Chuck challenge. Avs get it back. Here comes Mikko in. Shoots wide of the net. There's again Zaitsev playing really well. Kept in, and that pass finds Landeskog through traffic. The captain of the half-boards kicks it up top, and it escapes up and out and all the way down. Mikko Rantanen has had a pretty quiet game so far tonight overall. O'Connor is in. He shoots. What a save by Forsberg. Logan O'Connor sprung himself and got the great feed, but could not get it upstairs as Forsberg leapt up with his shoulder. My goodness gracious. Oh, the Avs are pressing the issue in every kind of way. They can't buy that next goal. Here comes Newhook back in. He's flying. Behind the net, sends it out in front, and it goes through O'Connor again. Goodness gracious, what a great feed by Newhook.
How did O'Connor get, like, breakaway open in a 5-3 hockey game?
I do not know. Eric Johnson takes a hit. There to help out is O'Connor. Off the glass and out it comes. As Chabot did glove it down. Burakovsky took a forearm right in the middle of the numbers. Sends dump it back in, and that's going to be an icing call. All right, we've got it back, Pete. It's time for tonight's Taco Bell tape.
And go ahead. Very nice. Look at most games allowing 2+ goals. In 82 games, that's how many games the teams played during a regular NHL season. Well, that particular year, in 92-93, they played 84 games. And that's, they held the opposition to to less than 2 goals.
Well, the Ottawa Senators this season have given up 2 or more goals in every game but 1. And they've done it again tonight. The Avs have 3. Problem is the Avs have given up 5.
You know why they played 84 games those years?
Yeah.
They were looking at neutral sites.
That's right. I remember that, Peter, because there was actually a neutral site game in Sacramento, California. The Sharks played against the Blues.
There was one in St. Paul. Ended up getting a team in Minnesota.
Puck is pushed back. Samuel Girard takes over. Fed ahead, and it squeaks through everybody, played by Forsberg. McKinnon lost his stick. Landeskog knocked down to the ice. Well, the Avs can score goals in bunches, and they certainly do in the third period. Oh my goodness, there was just a collision with an Avalanche forward and Anton Forsberg. There was no call there. I thought that it might have been Mikko who got tripped up. We'll have to go back and look at it. Here's Nichushkin, swings it wide. Approaching 30 seconds to go in period number 2. Avs have it. Tyson Jost has been robbed, and he blows his own tire. Back at the hashes. Trying to get away from Paul. Could not reverse. Muscle into the trapezoid. Time winding down. Senators just want to pin that puck. It squirts off the stick. Avs get it backhanded off a leg. Finally flipped up and out, and that's going to do it for 2 periods of hockey in Ottawa. Eric Johnson back up ice, finds the red line, and that's going to be it. And so the Senators explode for 3 goals in period number 2 before the Avs get one back and make it a 2-goal game. They'll trail by 2 going to the room.
And I guess the highlight goal, the one that everyone is going to see, is the goal that, you know, the puck was pulled in by the Ottawa player and Johnson and Johansson. I mean, it was just a crazy kind of situation.
We have a Justus Anunen sighting. After 2 periods of play, it's the Avalanche trailing the Senators 5-3. And you're watching Avalanche hockey on altitude. Coming up after the break, stay tuned. You
wouldn't have much going for you, but you know, these are the kind of kids you're looking at in the National Hockey League right now. They're so unafraid to try stuff.
Offside play on Ottawa to begin period number 3, and it's time for the Geico stats for bundling made easy. Go to geico.com as we see Ottawa's taking the lead in shots on goal. It was that big in second period that did it for them. The Avs have plenty of opportunity, plenty of time to come back in this one, but they've got to get properly motivated, as you heard Kiefer and Mark talking about. An icing call on the Avs. That pass missed.
Now you can certainly say the Avalanche can look at the situation. They don't have their number 1, number 2 goaltender. Well, they haven't had their number 2 goaltender all years. That maybe doesn't really count. got McCarr out of the lineup, Paul Byram out of the lineup, Kadri out of he's missing his first game of the season for the Avalanche.
Erik Johnson is the only Avalanche player to have played in all the games so far this season.
Wow.
Flip behind the net. Girard turns on this team a little bit, wards it in himself, gives it off. Antonin, stripped from behind, and the Sens are able to clear that one out. Batherson try to move it in on tape. Again, Mikko's had a bit of an off night. Centering pass stolen away by Taves. Oh my goodness. Paul was all by himself. That was huge. Now a hit on Newhook as he's drilled down right at the turnbuckle of the glass. Nick Holden throwing his body around the former Avalanche. O'Connor jumps back onside. Sent a head off the stick. No, it missed the target. An icing call on the Avalanche.
Well, for the Avalanche, Taves, just a beautiful read. Continues to make races. But Newhook right here, Moj, this is Nick Holden. You know, when he came to the Avalanche, no one thought that he had the maybe abilities to play in the National Hockey League. Well, during that awful season, he was, you know, he was with the Avalanche, and then he got traded, as you mentioned. He's been a really good NHL defenseman.
It really has. Long shot, blocked away by Annunen. Picked up now by Burakovsky. And that's one of those ones where you just saw the hit on Newhook. When you're coming down the boards, you have to make a decision. And he elected to try to squeak through and paid the price. Here's Jost. Penalty coming up on the Senators. Avs are going to get an opportunity. O'Connor swings it up top to EJ. Now McKinnon is on the ice as the extra attacker. Back to Johnson. They'll trade. Given off for McKinnon. Cut off. McKinnon still can't get free. Carries it to the near side. Breaks her on. Avs still control the puck. Give it up far side. Take the one-timer. Now McKinnon straight away with a wrist shot. Score! It was deflected down deep. I believe Tyson Jost is finally rewarded for his hard work on the delayed penalty call. And the Avs have gotten within one. It's now a 5-4 game, less than 2 minutes into the third period.
Nathan McKinnon just absolutely refused to give up this puck. I mean, he moved around. He passed it once. He got it back. This is at the end of it. Gets a shot on net. And Tyson Jost, you could just feel that he scored that goal.
Right in front of the net.
Yeah.
Look at him work hard. Fearless there at the top of the crease.
Most hard work is not going to be Tyson Jost's problem. I mean, it just needs to have a streak or one of those games where he just breaks out. But that's a gigantic goal for the Avalanche.
Back to a one-goal game. And the Avs again, as that second period moved on, they played much more of their brand of hockey. Dumped down deep by Nichushkin, scoops that puck up. Wanted to go to the point. McDermott, though, saw it go off the referee and had to hold his ground. Couldn't go for that puck. Curtis McDermott back ahead. He flips it in. Charging is Aube-Kubel. Assisted on the Avs' first goal of the night. Here come the Senators. Sanford. A forward pass was intended for Gambrell. Now here is Dylan Gambrell. Former Pio working away from Taves. Gives it up. Shot by Ennis. That's off the top of the glass behind the net. McDermott goes down hard. Now McKinnon jousting. Squeaked it free. McDermott again ties the man up. That one hopped through Tierney. It's Aube-Kubel. Red line. Slams it in wide of the Ottawa net. Good hit by McKinnon. Off his freedom. Mikko Rantanen. That pass missed the target though in Jacob McDonald. Oh, a little miscommunication. Annunen lost it. Did McDonald lose puck? Annunen scrambling forward. He chased it. Those two have played together with the Eagles, and there's a hit. A penalty coming up on Ottawa. It's going to be a trip, and the Avs will have an opportunity to get this game tied up as Formanen rammed into the corner on Sammy Girard. Well,
to the Avalanche, you talk about a play motion inside of a game. that could have such an impact that looked like a nothing play. It looked like the Avalanche were to move the puck out of the zone. Well, they don't. Then there's a turnover, and well, Ottawa doesn't score, and then they take a penalty, and now the Avalanche go on the power play in a game where they just made it 5-4.
Ooh. Got that leg underneath the back of Gerard's legs and upended him. Sammy G was unhappy, but he did not draw into the minor. Now DJ Smith wants an explanation. How about Annunen, though? He's following that puck right across the crease, staying with it.
He gave up the 5th one, right?
He did.
So it's his game right now.
And there's Foreman talking to one of the officials. Avs, though, can't win the draw, but they get the loose puck. Sent to the near side for Mikko. Rantanen swings it all the way to the right point. Burakovsky trapped. Just has not been Andre Burakovsky's night so far. Montave's now running the top power play unit. Cale Makar out of the lineup. Owen Byram is out of the lineup. Lead pass to the captain. Here he comes in. Had it chopped off his blade. And Logan Paul will send it all the way down. Taves will reset behind his net. The Avalanche is just their second power play of the night. Kenneth works it in. Had it poked away. The Sens just collapse upon the puck carrier and clear that puck out. So nothing doing here in the top unit.
Yeah, twice they have just absolutely read that little exchange into the zone perfectly.
Burakovsky back to Landeskog. I just want to get set up and get that puck moving. Not a whole lot of snappage tonight. Again, bang to the point. Taken by Taves. Steers it deep. Very aggressive PK for the Sens, which currently is 28th in the NHL. It's not like they've had a great deal of success killing penalties. Now the Avs are set up with Burakovsky. Sends it up top for Taves. It's a golden opportunity for the Avalanche. Burakovsky down low. Mikko dangling. Back to Burakovsky. Walks to the dot. Shoots! Off of Forsberg's blocker. McKinnon hovers. Wheels himself away. Sens now getting tired. Avs have got to try to take advantage. 20 to go. Taves to McKinnon. Shielding with his body. Dishes back up top. One-timer. Saved by Forsberg with the right pad. McKinnon swings it right wide. It's deflected. Can the Avs get one more shot off? They cannot. An unlucky break for the Avalanche. It flopped right back to the stick of Brown. He sends it all the way down.
Took them a while, but they got the puck set up. They were moving around. Ottawa was getting tired, and they couldn't. Oh.
It's an icing call on the Avs. Hey, Avalanche fans. Berg Simpson reminds you that when the game is on the line, call 303-790-2525. Berg Simpson. Good lawyers changing lives. Tyson Jost. A goal that has the Avs within one. McKinnon got the first assist. Again, it's his second of the night, 14th of the season. Jack Johnson got the other assist on that goal. Swatted at by Gerard. That went into the air. Sens keep it in. Here's Brady Tkachuk. Batherson. Back to Tkachuk, short side. Annunen was looking the wrong way. Loose change. Covered by Annunen, and he'll hold on in his crease.
Well, Ottawa has not generated a whole lot of chances in the last while. So they're sitting back right now. So the Avalanche sort of have Ottawa where you want them. With all the offensive power that the Avalanche still have. The Ottawa is giving you the blue line and giving you that neutral zone a little bit, so the Avalanche can really start to use their speed to attack the Ottawa Senators in the defensive zone.
And it's still so early in the third period. Plenty of time left. Magna comes out for the draw. Unfair face-off, and I think Tierney's going to be kicked out yet again. That'll be his third time of the night, even though that's not an official stat cap. Ever since I saw Kadri kept getting kicked out repeatedly, I try to keep it mentally the best I can. Not really good at it. Sanford leans in now for the Sens against Magna. EJ. And Watson close that gap. Sens take the puck away. Now Kubel able to scoot it ahead. Chased that by Helm. Started off the scoring tonight for the Avalanche. In the corner, tip behind the net. Kubel wings it up top. Rocking back Johnson, and that shot never got through. He'll gather it back in. EJ, wrist shot this time, and it was deflected over the top of the net. Johnson is activated. He's deep. That one gets through Kubel. Hard pops it through the trapezoid. Shabbat. Coughed it up momentarily, and the Sens are able to clear. Right back in. Helm, nowhere to go. It's picked up by Zaitsev. Gambrell able to scoot that one off the boards back to the Avalanche zone. Whipped up ice by Jack Johnson. Helm dumps it in. Holden threw it up and out, all the way back down to the Avalanche. Icing is waved off. Avs looking to dish ahead. Mikko Rantanen tries the right wing. Could not scoop by Holden. Got knocked down. That puck will roll along the end boards now. Again, that top line trying to find time and spend time in the offensive zone. To the front of the net. Easy stick aside there by Annunen. Very calmly just got the pass out.
There's been no panic in any part of his game.
Zero fluster for Annunen. And to do him justice for Eustace, they have to get that fifth goal to take him off the hook, because that was a perfect shot by Stützle for the fifth goal for Ottawa. Right back in, centering pass to Batherson, missed. It's Zaitsev. Dishes it off. Wrist shot by Paul. Saved by Annunen up into the screen. And a timeout coming right up. Avs now down by a goal early in period number 3. They're in chilly, ice-cold Ottawa.
Well, Colorado Avalanche defensive core has been absolutely outstanding this year offensively. No Makar tonight. No Bo Byram. We just hope these aren't patterns that we're going to see as the season goes along. This is the second time now that Makar has been out because of an injury. Bo Byram is the second time he has been out because of an injury, and these guys are valuable players.
We don't know what the situation is with Cale. He did take the warm-up tonight and then was deemed unfit after the warm-up. Senators win the draw. Into the corner it goes for Paul. Knocked away, Stützle. Again, look right through the linesman. Swat that one. Can't get a hold of it, and it goes up into the netting. And so things have really toned down here. Approaching the 8-minute mark of period number 3.
Yeah, you look at the Colorado Avalanche right now, point-wise, I think they're, what are they sitting right now, Moj? They're sitting 5th in the Central Division. But when
it depends on the night. I mean, you win, you vault up to 4th.
But percentage-wise, they came in tonight 2nd. In the Central Division. They haven't played as many games.
You know, and it's interesting, too, because the Avs right now, as it's sent all the way down, should be an icing call, it is. Their record, as of right now, 12-7-1 into this game, is identical to what it was last year when they won the President's Trophy.
Yeah, it's a 100-point season. 101, 102-point season, which will easily get you into the playoffs. But it's just been sort of herky-jerky because of the injuries and or is that just the way it's going to be in the National Hockey League this year as the players get used to playing an 82-game schedule again?
You and I talk about teams that win a lot, playing so much hockey, like the Tampa Bay Lightning. Well, everybody is playing a lot after the past couple of years. From the bubble on, everything has just been so compacted. And so you wonder if things just start to catch up.
Oh, yeah, they had 2 playoffs-type seasons inside of 14 months.
Picked up by Kubel. Slipped a check there as Norris crashed on him, and Norris forced the turnover almost. Jack Johnson. Just a twirl. Avs will complete their change. A lot of time left. As the Avs trail by a goal. Taves. Arches up to the red line. That puck is flung in. Where did it go? Nobody seems to know, and it just went up in the air. Hey, sound the horn. The Avalanche Holiday Pack is back. This holiday season, get any 3 games of your choice and an Avalanche fleece blanket. This special package is only available for a limited time, so don't get caught out in the cold. Grab the perfect gift at ColoradoAvalanche.com/holiday pack. I think I'd look good in a blanket, Pete. Just a hint.
Just a hint. Thank you.
Good job, jams it in. Out to play it is Annunen. Gave it right to a Senator player. That shot never got through. Here's Mikko, right in stride. Bumps it to himself. Chased by Batherson. Mikko cuts it to the center of the ice. Mikko collapsed upon, and has since cleared it out as Renton paid the price and got dumped down. The defensive zone coverage by the Sens, the back checking and the collapsing has been good tonight on the Avs' best players. That's sent wide of the cage by Girard. Winged right back out by Watson. Taves. Very deftly steers it ahead for Newhook, trying to get free from Holden. Watson poked that one free in front of the benches. Gambrell drops it right back in, forcing McDermott to retrieve and dish off. O'Connor tips it now for EJ. Right back to the Sens it goes. That just can't get any forward momentum going now as the Sens clog things up. Burakovsky. Twists and turns and shoots. It hit Forsberg as O'Connor got chopped down to the ice. That one actually got through, I believe. Sue run out there by Burakovsky, but the puck is up and out. Good play by EJ, dumped right back in by the Avalanche. Now we're past the halfway mark of period one. Sue plays it up the boards again. Stolen away by Burakovsky. Wanted to find Jost, but the puck is loose, and it's cleared up and out by Ottawa. Another icing call. No, it's waved off. Jack Johnson has 2 Sens on him. He'll fling it ahead. At the red line, it's held. Couldn't push it ahead, but Jost is there. There's Thompson. Chuskin in full pursuit. Couldn't take control. Puck is loose to Helm. This line working hard. Tried to chip it down for Val, couldn't deliver. Sens got in the way. It's through the legs, and Tierney is there to poke it up the boards. Back to Sammy G. He gave that puck off for Jack Johnson, and he'll flip it up ice off Nichushkin. So right now, teams just giving the puck back and forth to each other.
Yep. There's been no, I thought the way the Avalanche started, they had a chance to really pin Ottawa in their zone. Ottawa's done a nice job of not letting that happen.
Avs trying to find some flow. Landeskog to himself, but that puck frees up for Mikko. Then goes down deep and a backhand shot save up the slot. McKinnon had a stick jack. Taken by Taves, he'll find McKinnon. He'll dart away from Zaitsev into the bottom of the circle. Zaitsev a good recovery on the rub out. That puck is loose, banged up the boards, pursued by Landeskog. Trying to get his big old body in the way. The Sens doing a good job on the perimeter, but Taves throws it to the front of the net. It's gloved by Forsberg. And he's going to hang on with 8:18 left in period number 3. The Avs still searching for the tying goal at the Canadian Tire Center. Making his first appearance in the National Hockey League. And there's the exchange as Johansson was pulled after the 4th goal for Ottawa. He's played well.
Yeah, I mean, he's been solid. And I think for the Colorado Avalanche, that's what you're looking at, because right now, we don't know what's going on with Kemper. We don't know what's going on with Francouz. And so what is the goaltending situation going to be for at least the remainder of this road trip? Is that they have day off tomorrow, then in Philly, day off at Madison Square Garden before they return home for a game against the Detroit Red Wings.
So his first career action, McKinnon feeds it across, tipped up top for Taves. Long wrist shot, knocked down in front, backhanded, wide of the net. And Landeskog got cut down right in the low slot as Forsberg able to hang on to that puck.
Did Forsberg know where this one was? Landeskog spun around. Landeskog wins draw, goes right to the front of the net. And
I think it just went underneath him and he didn't realize it until he felt it.
Until the whistle was blown.
Anunen, 6'4", 210 pounds, just 21 years of age. Again, he was the Avs' 3rd round pick back in 2018, and he's been, what do you call it, percolating in Finland, and he finally made the trip of it. Last year played a couple of games for the Eagles last season, starting with the Colorado Eagles this season. Now the need to call him up brings him to Ottawa in his first appearance. He did arrive in Toronto and travel with the team to Montreal as the backup. Tipped off now for Landeskog, and the top line exits the zone. They've been out there for a while. Captain slaps it on net, gloved by Forsberg, and he brings the whistle with 7:44 to go here in period number 3. Hey, Avalanche fans, here's the upcoming schedule presented by All Coffee Products. Monday, the Avs' 5-game roadie continues as they head to Philadelphia to take on the Flyers, the city of brotherly love. Do not miss a minute of the action when complete coverage begins at 4:30 right here on Altitude. It's Monday Night Hockey right here on your home of the Avalanche.
It's always so interesting to see these clubs we haven't seen in a while. Everybody thought Philadelphia Moshe had done some really nice things shored up their defense. Hart's playing well this year. They're getting some good goaltending. They can't win games.
Yeah, Hart actually is not the issue.
No.
But Ristolainen, came over, of course, in the deal, and they got Ellis, and it just so far, there's been injuries, of course, it just hasn't worked in Philadelphia. As Obi Kubel tries to argue his point against the linesman. Zub steers that puck up into the neutral zone, brought in by Stützle. He'll chase. Cycles it off, finding Paul. Now a wraparound try, batted puck. Annunen just looks very calm.
Yeah.
He just
pushed that puck forward.
He's not, if he's feeling any sort of jitters, he's not showing it at all. Sens have made a change. Time will become a factor here in a little bit for the Avs. Plenty of time left. 7 minutes now and 5 seconds. But they're spending a lot of time in their own end like this. The Sens have decided to go full on forecheck, plug things up in the neutral zone and play some ugly hockey. That one squeaked through everybody into the zone. Back to the Avalanche zone at center. Tierney outraced McDermott. Got cut down. Ennis flings it high off the glass. Big foul to Chushkin now. Marching down the right wing. Stick handles his way into traffic. Zoom tried to clear it. Chushkin is on him. Al does a good job of that. Obfuscated goes to the far side. Here's Taves. Gets it up for O'Connor. Logan O'Connor with a turnaround opportunity. It's deflected wide. Now McDermott tries. Sends it in front. Nobody home down the slot. Taken by O'Connor. Icing Joe Tezatali, but he let that one go as he got pinned. Avs forced the turnover. Good job by O'Connor. He's everywhere right now. Logan O'Connor. That shot never got through. It went off the skate. Poked at now by Taves. Picked up by Val at the point. Down the boards for O'Connor. He continues to work as Holden squeezes him just that much. Avs trying to get fresh bodies on as Zub reverses it. O'Connor couldn't quite catch up. Now Holden has all kinds of space and room to dish off. Good hard-working shift by the Avalanche, but you would hope for maybe 1 or 2 more shots in that opportunity.
But you start wearing down the top defensive pairs for the Ottawa Senators.
Under 5.5 to go, coming right up. It's chipped away, picked up by Girard. Gives it for the captain, and now Landeskog streaming in. Shoots, it's deflected by Zaitsev into the screen. And here comes your final break of period number 3. Now 5:25 to go. It's getting critical. Avs trailing by a goal.
You know that he's going to be frustrated because he hasn't scored. But he's getting points, he's setting things up, he's being physical. He doesn't seem to, I don't see him favoring anything, Moj. Because we were watching from a distance, obviously. Here's the assist right here. Nice shot on through. But over the course of this last part of this hockey game, he's already played 23 minutes. It's going to be over 25 minutes probably in this hockey game.
Well, Nathan McKinnon, again, continues to rack up the points, but he'd like those goals. No better time than the present. And he's got it. Shoots, saved by Forsberg. Forsberg, from the time that puck was dropped, hardly moved.
We didn't have time to move. That was as quick a 1-2 shot situation as you're going to see.
And you can see the Avs clearly wanted to get a 29.
Watch McKinnon coming off the left wall. 1-2. Wow, that was quick.
Try it all over again to the right of Forsberg. Zaitsev, though, has it after the draw, and the Sens were able to clear. Approaching 5 minutes to go in period number 3. Avalanche trailing by a goal. They've scored the only goal of this final period. Hard to pitch down the boards. Got some skates in the way. Puck now at the half point. Batherson swatting. It's Norris. Couldn't get it through. Puck is reversed. That'll force Taves to the far side. But Shabbat with a longer stick was able to send it out, but it hit a man in the bench. Hey, bring the family to Ball Arena and watch the Avalanche when they face off against the Florida Panthers on Sunday, December 12th. The Avs Family Pack gets you 1 ticket, 1 meal, and 1 soda, and can be customized to fit the size of your family, which is pretty good. Learn more at ColoradoAvalanche.com.
And Moj, you would think, if you want to see a little offense, come to that game.
No.
I mean, they have the skill level on both sides.
Well, that's a fact. Florida, the key to success lately is to get down by 3 goals and then come roaring back.
Roaring back, yeah.
And then they stake themselves lately to a deficit and then just come bursting at the seams back into the game. Newhook wins the draw. Johnson one-timer, never got through. It cut a man down. That was Watson. Jack Johnson sends that puck ahead and it missed the target. No icing here as Holden plays it up the boards. Sent out by Sanford. Right back in comes Logan O'Connor chugging after that puck. Just went off the end of his stick. Got some help from Burakovsky. Bodies colliding. Puck is loose to Zoom. He'll reverse, steers it off. Gambrell bangs it up and out. Back to the Avs zone is Sanford. Eric Johnson giving him the business on the near side. Not once but twice. Pass did not get through. It's poked at. Avs take control. O'Connor will flip it up and out. 3:57 to go in the third period. Now time is a factor. Avs have got to start really pressing the issue here before they can pull Justus Anunen. Avs looking for some justice for their young netminder who's given up 1. Not his fault. In is McKinnon. Puts the brakes on but lost the handle. Landeskog sweeps it around to the far side as Sammy Girard awaits. That's in the gut of Landeskog. He walks to the high slot. Shoots! Knocked off a body in front of him and hit Norris. Kick back up top for Girard. Steers it for Taves out of his wheelhouse. Picked up by Girard as he helped out his D partner. The puck is down deep. We'll keep an eye on the Avalanche net. McKinnon dancing with it. Swings it back to the point. Taves far side for Girard. The Senators getting tired. McKinnon into the slot with it. Loose puck. Taves trying to control it. It's free. McKinnon throws off the side of the cage. To the near side. Sends her dead tired. The Avs moving the puck at will. Landeskog, Girard to Taves who walks in deep and throws it right across the goal crease. Landeskog keeps it in. Taves back up top and a one-timer. Score! A bomb from way downtown. Gave Landeskog a let it go, and for now the Avs have tied the game at 5.
Do you think the puck came out of the zone?
I'm not going to say. I want the positive juju.
Oh.
Boy, it was really close.
That was.
It's right here. Oh, that was so close. Linesman right on it, though, says it's fine. Landeskog should get a second.
Look. It's out.
Oh, no.
Gosh. There's White there, Mo. At least
Ottawa is challenging that the play is offside prior to the goal.
Oh, man, oh, man.
Well, there's some tough calls. And then there's easier ones. And this is like the one that was looked at earlier in the game. That was a tough call because you're looking at a whole bunch of different things. Nets off and the puck sliding through and who knocked it out. This one, I mean, is there White in behind the puck?
Well, I think it's out of the zone, Pete.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to get up and out completely, and I believe that there is probably going to, well,
that one is, oh my, it is so close.
I don't know. It's hanging right there on the blue. That's going to be it. You know, if they can get a goal, crashing through the Avalanche goalie, the net coming off and everything else, maybe this one can hold up. I'm sure that the Senators think that it for sure is an offside play. As of right now, Landeskog has his second goal of the game, his 9th of the season. The Avs had the Senators dead tired. They were just with their tongues hanging out.
Comes another look at it. Moj coming across. Girard kind of fanned on it. So it was heading out of the zone instead of straight across. And right, that one I don't like.
I'm not looking. I refuse to look.
Yeah, Moj.
No, it's touching some blue. There were a couple of grains.
Right, no, right there, Moj. Look.
Yeah, a couple of grains of blue tucked underneath that thing, I'm sure.
Think so?
Well, if I go back to high school physics class, there has to be some sort of you know, paint molecule. I don't know. I know. If for the Avalanche, they've worked hard to get back into this game, and another crazy game between the two teams. We're going to get our official announcement right here from one of the referees as Landeskog stares.
What do you think?
I think it's out.
Yeah.
After coach's challenge, video reviews determined that the play was offside. Therefore, we have no goal. Reset the clock to 2 minutes, 50 seconds.
So the Avs will have 2:50 to work with to try to get even again. And of course, Senators fans, they all saw it, I'm sure.
One more look at it, and
so close.
You know, one of the keys was Sammy Girard went to move that puck across, Moshe, and he sort of half got it, and it slid instead of straight across. It slid on an angle, and Gabe couldn't quite get his stick on the puck.
Jared Bednar always thinking of what he wants his team to do. And the Sens were just run ragged by the Avs on that shift. Onanen leaves it off for Girard. That one gets to EJ. Turnaround shot. Save Onanen. He'll hold on. 2:38 to go. And this is about the time we'll keep looking at the Avalanche net, and we'll see. But the Avs got to win the draw, gain the possession, and get it deep into the Ottawa end.
It has been a miserable season for Ottawa. They finished the year last year, Moshe, in that Northern Division, 9-2-1.
Yeah, they played well at the very end.
At the end, so they were really looking forward to, you know, keeping that momentum going, and it just has not been there.
Holden able to dish it back down deep. Avs trying to clear the zone, and they do. Could be an icing call, and it will be. So not a whole lot going on right there for this Avalanche team. There is Justus Onanen.
What do you do, Moshe, goal? What are you doing? You know,
I've liked the composure the kid has shown, personally. Again, Francouz played last night for the Eagles in that 4-1 loss to Tucson.
But you're not going to call him up and play him.
No, not now, I don't think. Turnaround shot. Save Onanen, and he holds on. He's just looked very calm and comfortable.
Yeah.
Nothing has fazed him whatsoever.
And you got to remember, when he stepped into the game, it was 5-2, then 5-3, then 5-4, and he hasn't allowed anything.
Watch out, it was 4-2.
Pardon me, 4-2.
Yeah.
So then he let the one, made it 5-2, but that was it. He shut the door after that.
And that goal was a perfect shot. That puck never got through. It's ricocheted in the low slot. Avs just need to collect this puck and get it ahead. Tyson Jost chopped it into the zone. Now we're approaching 2 minutes to go, and the Avs cannot get on him into the bench. There's another save by the goalie, and then on him is Watson. That guy. And so, see if the Avs top line comes out. Can they win the draw, get the possession, get to the red line, and get their goalie to the bench?
Now, again, things we don't know that much about. How much English does he speak? Does he understand, you know, when to look at the bench, when to sort of get those instructions as to when to come to the bench?
Puck is free. Here's McKinnon. Senators with a very aggressive forecheck. Norris forcing the turnover. Good job by Josh Norris there. And finally, Taves has to bang it to the near side. I mean, time just ticking down. Precious seconds. Brought ahead by McKinnon, hounded by Tkachuk. Gets that one deep. Onanen's on his way to the bench. Up to the far side, Taves bats it into the corner, rolled right through Val. Now it's McKinnon. Up the boards, Batherson stole it. It's taken away by Landeskog. Good play by the captain. Taves will walk the line. To McKinnon, back to Taves. One-timer! Score! Devon Taves says, I'll take over from way downtown. This one will count. McKinnon was hovering right down deep, and the Avalanche have tied the game at 5. The comeback is complete, and Devon Taves continues to impress.
Well, almost poetic justice. Does this one just go straight in?
Oh, it looked like it might have been going wide and got to, well, we'll have to wait and see. What a shot by Devon Taves.
Well, he just, He just continues to do it all for the Colorado Avalanche. Even with McCarr out of the lineup tonight, he has stepped up and been the key guy offensively from the back line.
We've got a 5-5 hockey game in Ottawa. Last time these two teams hooked up in Denver on the 22nd, 12 total goals scored. We've got 10 tonight off the glass through 2 men and back to the Ottawa zone. There is no icing. Paul tried to scoot it out, couldn't. Now he can. Girard chased, spins away from Brown. On the forecheck, Paul will now peel off to the bench on a change. Girard just eating that puck. Wants to be safe and smart with it. Turn it right over though. Senators batted across the red line. Back to Girard he comes. Rams it ahead. Freeing up now is Mikko. Renton and spinning. Dumps it back down deep. He was forced to the far side by the Sens with good D-zone coverage. Reversed by Landeskog. Approaching 20 seconds to go in regulation. We're tied at 5. Long shot by Jack Johnson, blocked away. Poked ahead by the Sens. Avs, though, keep it in. Mikko, far side, shot, loose, puck in the crease, smothered by Forsberg, as Landeskog could not get all he wanted on it. And it rolls to the front of the net as the captain is face down on the ice.
Well, Johnson does a terrific job of stepping up, keeping the puck in the zone, which led to this little bit of a quick play for the Colorado Avalanche, and the big line just misses, winning this hockey game in the last minute. Good. The passing on this line, when it is on, Moj, it is just unreal. Forsberg comes across. Oh, that's a good save.
You know, it was one of those, it looked like Gabe didn't get all he wanted on it, so it sort of, it was a bit of a changeup on the ice, and boy, that almost snuck inside of his pad between his legs, then he got that leg out. So here we go. Final 11 seconds in regulation. Zub jams it up and all the way down. And that's going to do it for regulation hockey in the Canadian capital. We are going to go to overtime. So stick around. Devon Toews comes up huge late in the third period. His monster bomb gets the Avs all even. We'll go 3-on-3 next on Altitude. So we got there. The Avs trail 5-2. Here comes the comeback. Alex Newhook dancing down the slot. Beautiful play. And then here's the long shot from McKinnon, deflected by Tyson Jones. The Avs within 1, and in the late game heroics. Devon Toews rocks back for the bomb on the one-timer to earn the Avs at least 1 point. Now they'll go for the other. And take a look at this, Pete.
This is amazing. This is by defensemen in NHL history. Consecutive games with your team scores a goal from a defenseman. Washington in 92-93. They had just a great group back then. 81-82. But the Avalanche, fourth on that list right now. Absolutely stunning.
And no Bowen Byram tonight, of course, and no Cale Makar, who did take the warm-up, the superstar defenseman. And now here we go. Overtime hockey in Ottawa this season. The Sens are 0-1 beyond regulation. The Avalanche 1-1. We'll start out with McKinnon and Landeskog up front. Sens counter with Norris and Tkachuk up front. Shabbat on the back end for Ottawa. Devon Toews out there for the Avs. Here we go. Avs win the draw. Possession so key and important. He'll draw it back to his own zone. Now Nichushkin came right on in place of Landeskog. Avs have done that a lot because Val's good in OT. Here comes Val to the high slot, shoots, glove save. Forsberg wants to drop it down, and finally a whistle. There was a man fleeing out of the zone for the Ottawa Senators, and so the Avs had to run traffic.
Well, Nichushkin, what they love about his play in these situations, he's unstoppable. A lot of times he's going head-to-head with a forward. Now, forwards don't know how to handle a guy like this defensively, so it's just a monstrous guy to deal with.
And again, as that old play, Landeskog was on, they pulled him right off when they got possession. Toews throws it far side, had nowhere to go with it, and McKinnon keeps it in the zone. He'll work it to the near side himself. McKinnon in the slot with the backhand shot wide of the net, and the Sens take over with Shabbat. He's hounded by Nichushkin, and now he'll peel. Val now, makes the steal. Puck is in the Ottawa zone. He keeps control of McKinnon. He'll walk into the circle. Cross-ice pass broken up, and watch out. Here comes Brady Tkachuk on a breakaway. In overtime to the Avs zone on Noonan, he scores. And the Ottawa Senators, with Brady Tkachuk second of the night, have beaten the Avalanche by a final score of 6-5.
Well, the Avalanche, the Jewish kid, looked like he'd forced a turnover. Couldn't quite get control of it. Little pass behind. And like it happens so often in these overtime modes, if the pass is just a little bit off, you're off to the races. The Tkachuk scored the first goal of the game, and he scores the last goal of the game for the Ottawa Senators. And this is...
The pass across by McKinnon. Tkachuk actually got a stick on it.
Exactly.
He did it himself.
Just a perfect shot.
He's obviously very happy, the new Ottawa captain. Val did a great job here to get that puck away from Shabbat. McKinnon trying to make the smart play, but credit Brady Tkachuk for getting the stick in that passing lane.
But the Avalanche, Moj, you come back from down 3, 5-2. You come back, you tie it up. Here's a last look at it, and you see Taves, just that empty feeling when you know that puck has been chipped by you, and you got no shot at catching the guy.
Tkachuk was absolutely flying into the zone, and so the Sens get the job done tonight after the Avs came back from 3 goals down. And of course, the Ottawa bench is going to be very, very happy. Our final score, it's the Ottawa Senators 6 and the Avalanche 5 in overtime. Be sure to join us again on Monday when the Avs face off against the Flyers. We'll have complete coverage for you beginning at 4:30 Mountain Time. Now, we'll get you downstairs to Kyle and Riker. They've got highlights, reaction from this game, and much, much more. Here comes the Avalanche Locker Room Report.